Bitcoin's next move here is going to be pretty telling for me as to what direction the market's going to be moving going forward here. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Kevin Svenson here. Today we're going to be talking about the price of Bitcoin. So over the past week, I put out a couple polls on YouTube and Twitter. On YouTube, I said people are starting to get very angry at this market. Does this mean that the bottom is in/close or more downside? 37% voted that the bottom is in or close, and 63% overwhelmingly voted that there is more downside coming. And on Twitter, I put out a poll that asked, how does everyone feel about the current situation in the crypto market? And the answers I gave were good, bad, and annoyed. What I found interesting is that annoyed got more votes than bad. I kind of figured that would happen. But either way, on the Twitter poll, we had about 57% voting for the negative answers, and we had 43% voting good. Now, also, let's take a look at the Google Trends data for both Buy Bitcoin and Bitcoin Exchange. Now, the reason why I use Buy Bitcoin and Bitcoin Exchange and not just Bitcoin is because this metric kind of gives you a better idea of who's actually getting involved, or how many people are actually looking to get involved in Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin actually trending? Are we actually getting more interest in buying Bitcoin? And currently we are not getting that. I have it set to the past 12 months. There is no rise in interest for Bitcoin. So it's interesting to see all of these poll results. A lot of times when you have a lot of negative sentiment like this, that means that Bitcoin is getting closer to a major support, or that Bitcoin is looking to potentially get a reversal. Now, this is not guaranteed to happen at all. Bitcoin can continue to trend it down to much lower prices, but I just found it interesting, and I just wanted to show you guys the results of these polls, and generally just how all of my viewers and followers are feeling at this point in time. Before we get into the Bitcoin analysis, be sure to sign up with the CryptoWatch platform. You can do all of your analysis and all of your trading all from one platform, which is the CryptoWatch platform. And this is the platform that I've been using for years now. Now let's get right into the Bitcoin analysis. Right now I'm looking at the 4-hour chart. Currently in the short term, Bitcoin is actually creating a higher low structure. We see that Bitcoin is currently trending to the upside. Right now, anytime Bitcoin attempts to pump to the upside, we do get immediate rejection, and we immediately find sellers dumping supply back into the market on all pushes to the upside. And currently Bitcoin is testing the bottom end of this upward sloping support line. If you bring up your 21-day EMA, this has actually been a pretty good indicator for me as well here on the daily chart. Once we got a clear break below the 21-day EMA, we began to use the 21-day EMA as resistance in a lot of areas here. We use it as resistance many times here as well. So the 21-day EMA has actually been a pretty interesting indicator to use to find resistance. And if you were trading this market on the daily time frame using the 21 EMA as a sell indicator, right, and you were buying Bitcoin here on the you waited for it to range up to the 21-day EMA, you actually had a perfect sell. Same if you bought here, sold at the 21-day EMA, another perfect sell, another perfect trade. So the 21-day EMA has been great for actually, indicating where to sell on the daily chart. And we are still using it as resistance right now. So if Bitcoin can start to we have this upward sloping support right now. If Bitcoin can manage to hold above the upward sloping support and break the 21-day EMA, this would be a very bullish indication here in the short term. We're getting above the 21-day EMA, and that is, currently actually a resistance indicator and a good sell indicator for those who are trading short term. And if we get above the 21-day EMA, that would initiate some more bullish moves. And if we get above the 21-day EMA and we can manage to get above 7,800, which is also this previous support of this consolidation range right here, that would most likely bring us to, at least to get some more bullish sideways action, right? Now that brings me to the weekly chart. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. I'm really interested in the weekly chart. By the way, I am using CryptoWatch, which means that the weekly time frame is going to be different than some other platforms. Kraken uses this weekly time frame, and that is the one that I base all of my analysis off. So this might look a little different. But right now on the weekly time scale, we are actually getting a golden cross on the weekly. We're seeing the 50-week moving average cross above the 100-week moving average, and this is historically very bullish for Bitcoin. Every time we've seen this cross in the past for Bitcoin, this was, initiating the next major parabolic advance. Nothing is going to be exactly the same, but last time we got this cross, we immediately saw a major pump. But you have to remember, this was also after we got, a couple months or many months of sideways action. Right now, Bitcoin has not actually seen any sideways action. And personally, even though we're getting a golden cross on the weekly, I personally still think that, if we are going to remain bullish here in the long term for Bitcoin, I would personally think that Bitcoin is looking for more sideways action before any sort of major pump. Even though we're getting a bullish signal here on the weekly, I still think that we're more likely to, to get, we could see some nice, bounces around in this area, but I think overall we're more set for that sideways action, if anything. The way that I'm looking at this right now is Bitcoin is currently still holding above the golden retrace. We had less than a week of a dip below that level. On the weekly, we had a wick down to 6,500, came back up. And now we're remaining above the golden retrace level right now. We're getting a weekly golden cross. We're holding above our historic support zone here. And currently we're still remaining above the golden retrace. So this is all quite bullish. I think it's more likely that Bitcoin is going to be looking to sort of just range sideways for a while. The market's going to stay, people are going to stay a little bit more negative for a bit. As the market trades sideways, this is generally what happens. Things are going to get boring. People are going to get frustrated. And then ultimately, I think we'll be trading sideways and looking to push to the upside. Now, of course, guys, one thing to keep in mind, we have the 21-week EMA, which is historically extremely important for Bitcoin. If we do range up to the 21-week EMA and we continue to get rejection off of it, and we can't create like a higher low consolidation, and we just get like horizontal lows along the 21-week EMA, that to me would be very bearish. If we get horizontal lows along the 21-week EMA, that would be a very bearish signal to me, and that we would be looking to drop closer to 5,400 at that point. And especially if we do range back to 6,500, that's also extremely bearish. In the short term, as I explained before here on the daily chart, as long as we break above 7,800, this would actually be very bullish, right? Breaking above 7,800 and holding above this level and getting this higher low consolidation would be very bullish, right? Now, if we take a look at the weekly chart, if Bitcoin can get above 7,800 and we get like a slight higher low consolidation, sideways action like this would be, very bullish, and it would sort of be reminiscent of all other cycles where we get that higher low sideways consolidation, right? As long as we can get something like this, that would be very bullish for Bitcoin. So, a slight higher low sideways consolidation would be historically what Bitcoin gets after this type of a downtrend, or after this type of a correction, I should say, higher low sideways action and then a pump. That is what I think is currently the most likely scenario, is slight higher lows, sideways action, and then a break above the 21-week EMA. Of course, if we break back into lower lows here, that sort of goes out the window, and we'd be looking to test probably closer to 5,400 and just retest this historic support zone. But again, guys, getting above the 21-week EMA is extremely important historically for Bitcoin. Generally, Bitcoin does not trend below the 21-week EMA during its first initiation out of a bear market. We actually have done that, which is historically very abnormal for Bitcoin. So there are a lot of differences in this cycle than previous cycles. Some of the more immediate things to look out for would just be getting back above 7,800, holding above that level, and maintaining higher lows. This would be very, short term, this would be very bullish for Bitcoin. And of course, breaking below your upward sloping support would be, initiating much more bearish moves. We would be continuing to get lower highs. And so right now, guys, this is a major decision point for Bitcoin. Breaking below this upward sloping trend on the daily, or getting above 7,800 on the daily. Very key decision point. Bitcoin's next move here is going to be pretty telling for me as to what direction the market's going to be moving going forward here. So I'm just waiting for Bitcoin to break out of this consolidation, and then I'll have a better idea of where the market is most likely going to be heading. If you enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and be sure to click that link below, sign up for the CryptoWatch platform, and definitely use that tutorial below to help you understand how to set up your API keys and use the CryptoWatch platform for trading across all the top exchanges. And I will see you guys in the next video.